Spain just made train travel easier for dogs. Japan officially has more fur babies than children. And Kuki traveled north in search of cooler weather, only to discover that his legs still don't work when he doesn't feel like walking. Grab your cooling mat. This is episode 15.
Welcome to the Shihtz Show, your emotional pod. Welcome to the Shihtz Show, your emotional pod.
Welcome back to the Shihtz Show, the podcast about everyday life with the Shih Tzu who travels internationally, pays no bills. I'm Daisy, Cookie's overworked butler, and currently serving as his travel coordinator, luggage handler, and personal transportation department. On Cookie's news desk today, starting this month, July 2026, national rail operator Renfe in Spain has officially expanded its pet policy. Dogs weighing up to 40 kilograms are now allowed on all trains across the country. This is a major victory for large dog owners across Spain. Now, for context, Cookie weighs in at a grand total of 4.6 kilograms, slightly over 10 pounds. So while he was already well within the limit for our train ride from Barcelona to Pamplona last week, where we paid a very reasonable €10 extra. It's amazing news for large dog owners who've been waiting for this forever. Cookie's official statement: more large dogs on trains just means more giant paws for him to completely ignore. In other news, while we've been in Spain, we discovered Dog House, an emotional Spanish television program on RTVE that follows shelter dogs as they meet potential new families. Hosted by Spanish singer and television presenter Chenoa, the show takes viewers inside a shelter and follows each dog's journey toward adoption. It highlights the emotion of first meetings, the uncertainty, and hopefully the moment when a dog finds the right home. The program also promotes responsible pet ownership and adoption, which is especially important because around 100,000 dogs in Spain are still waiting for homes. Our TVE channel is now preparing a second season, meaning Spain will apparently continue producing television programs specifically designed to make dog lovers cry. And finally, Japan's pet care industry is booming as the country's so-called fur babies now outnumber children under the age of 15. Japan has around 15.9 million pet cats and dogs, compared with approximately 13.7 million children under 15. As the country's birth rate continues to fall, some companies traditionally known for making baby products are turning their attention to the pet market, which means strollers, specialty food, wellness products, and carefully designed accessories are increasingly being marketed to dogs and cats. Cookie would like to congratulate Japan on finally organizing its priorities correctly. Cookie has already asked me to check flight prices to Tokyo. Confession: we try to outsmart the summer heat. Barcelona has been hot, so we headed up north to the wine region of La Rioja, where it was supposed to be cooler. And to be fair, the evenings in La Rioja were noticeably cooler than Barcelona. Did that stop Cookie's signature death stops? Not for a single second. The moment his paws touched the ground, the emergency brakes went on. Full strike. He sat down on the sidewalk, looked up at me, and made it very clear: if we are not walking directly into an air-conditioned room, I am not taking another step. So yes, I spent a lovely week carrying 4.6 kilograms of stubborn Shih Tzu through scenic Spanish vineyards. This week on The Edit, Cookie's first train journey in Spain. Technically, dogs of his size are supposed to remain inside their carriers during the trip, Kuki reviewed that policy and declined. Instead, he spent most of the journey from Barcelona to Pamplona sitting on my lap, quietly watching the scenery and monitoring other passengers. We were very lucky that none of the train attendants addressed the situation because explaining that Cookie considered his carrier more of a travel suggestion than an actual requirement might not have helped. For 10 euros, he traveled hundreds of kilometers across Spain without carrying luggage, without following the official rules, or making any meaningful contribution to the journey. Cookie's verdict: Spanish train travel very comfortable. The carrier policy still under review. And that's all for this week's episode of The Shihtz Show. Cookie has nothing more to add today because he's still celebrating Spain's World Cup victory after defeating Argentina 1-0 in extra time. Although based on his current energy level, you might think he played the entire match himself. Follow Cookie on Instagram at cookie.shitshow and watch The Shihtz Show on YouTube at The Shihtz Show Pod. See you next Tuesday!